So today we will resume reading from this page number 49. As the as the above example shows, the role of citizens is crucial in helping Parliament frame different concerns that people might have into laws. From establishing the need for a new law to its being passed at every stage of the process, the voice of the citizen is a crucial element. This we have to remember. That from establishing the need for a new law, that means the government must know that we the citizens, we want some sort of new laws in our country. And from establishing that need, still the law is being passed in the parliament, and at every stage of the process, the voice of the citizen is a crucial element. Because at first, from this storyboard, we have come to know that they are these women. That means is Sazia and what is her name? Sazia and Kushum. They work for the women's organization. So we can find that they have first raised the requirement for a new law regarding this domestic violence. And when they have seen that the law or the bill that was passed in the parliament, it didn't have all the sections or all the points which they asked for at that time, they had again revolted or protested against that one. And then only the government thought about that matter again and passed a new law, and where they can find or where they could see that all the points which they have mentioned for the protection of women from this domestic violence were mentioned. So we can find that this voice of the citizen is a very crucial element. This voice can be heard through TV reports, newspaper editorials, radio broadcasts, local meetings, all of which help in making the work that Parliament does more accessible and transparent to the people. So this voice of people, how the Parliament will come to know through these TV reports, newspaper editorials, then radio broadcast, local meetings. From this only the Parliament will come to know that people or what is the requirement of the citizens, and whether they are against the law or they are just going to give their vote for the law. That means for or against the law. So in this way the Parliament becomes, or the work of the Parliament becomes quite accessible and transparent to the people. Unpopular and controversial laws. Let us now look at the situation where the Parliament passes laws that turn out to be very unpopular. Sometimes a law can be constitutionally valid and hence legal, but it can continue to be unpopular and unacceptable to people because they feel that the intention behind it is unfair and harmful. Many a times it happens that the Parliament has passed a bill, or the Parliament or the government is trying to implement some sort of law which might be legal because it is constitutionally valid, but the law, it has become quite unpopular and unacceptable for the people. That means they are not ready to accept it, they are not ready to follow it, because people or the normal citizens or the common people, they think that the intention behind this law is unfair and harmful. Hence what they can do. Now what the people they can do. Hence people might criticize this law. Meaning of criticize, it is given in your book. Just you come to page number 51 and let's read. To find fault with or disapprove of a person or thing. And in this context of this chapter, it refers to citizens finding fault with the functioning of government. That means the people, they are not happy with the decision of the government. So hence people might criticize this law, hold public meetings, write about it in newspapers, report to TV news channels, etc. In a democracy like ours, citizens can express their unwillingness to accept repressive laws framed by the parliament. Again, the meaning of repressive we can find from here: to control severely in order to prevent free and natural development or expression. In the context of this chapter, it refers to laws that brutally control persons and often prevent them from exercising their fundamental rights, including right to speech and assembly. So this is known as repressive, which is quite brutal in nature. To accept repressive laws framed by the parliament. When a large number of people begin to feel that a wrong law has been passed, then there is pressure on the parliament to change this, as we have seen in the storyboard. As the women organization, they found that the points they had suggested were not mentioned in the law. That's why they protested against it. For example, various municipal laws on the use of space within municipal limits, often making hawking and street vending illegal. Now the meaning of this hawking, you know, to sell goods informally in public places, and vending also to selling of these goods. So many a times it happens that municipal, it limits, that means it says that hawking, or it tries to prohibit the hawking and the street vending near around the municipality, or near around this some areas might be. No one will dispute the necessity for some rules to keep the public space open so that people can walk on the pavements easily. However, one also cannot deny that hawkers and vendors provide essential services cheaply and efficiently to the millions living in a large city. So the municipality, it has taken the decision that it does not want the hawkers or the vendors to sell their commodities or the goods in certain space or certain areas of the municipality, or some areas of local use. So why the municipality has taken the decision? Because there must be open space so that people can walk on the pavements easily. If the pavements, they are just blocked, how people will walk? How people will go for their work? It will become somewhat problematic. And on the other hand, this thing also you have to consider that this one, these vendors and the hawkers, they provide essential things at a cheap rate, and which helps millions living in a large city. Now during this time of lockdown only, I think you have experienced that the vendors, that means the greengrocers, they were coming near around our lanes or near around our areas. That's why it was becoming quite convenient for us to buy the things from them, or our parents, they were buying the vegetables from them instead of going to the market. And even if the lockdown day was not there, but still then for the security purpose or for the safety measures, our parents or we were not going, or we were not feeling like going to the market and buying the vegetables from the market or the fish from the market. And during that time we have seen that these vendors or these greengrocers or the hawkers, they have come near around our area or in our lanes, and from them we have bought all the things, that also at a cheap rate and easily. The rate cannot be said whether it was cheap or high, but we have got the things easily sitting at home. We didn't have to go out or step out from our house for all these essential things, these vegetables and these food that means the things that we require for our daily use. It is essential matter, essential thing, and that those things we were getting sitting at home. We were, it was not at all just what to say. It was not. We were not forced. We were not forced to step out from our home. Okay, so I missed the line again as usual. However, one also cannot deny that hawkers and vendors provide essential services cheaply and efficiently to the millions living in a large city. This is their means of livelihood. In this way only they earn their money, and with that money only they earn their daily necessities. Hence, if the law favors one group and disregards the other, it will be controversial and lead to conflict. People who think that the law is not fair can approach the court to decide on the issue. The court has the power to modify or cancel laws if it finds that they don't adhere to the constitution. So what the court, so people, if they are dissatisfied with this decision of the government, or because of this law, then they can approach to the court. And what the court will do, the court has the power to modify, that means make some changes, and also to cancel laws if it finds that it is if it finds that they don't adhere to the constitution, that means they are not following the constitution, the rules of the constitutions properly. So come to this not the, or on the same page only, come to this part. As you read in the earlier section on the rule of law, Indian nationalists protested and criticized arbitrary and repressive laws being enforced by the British. Arbitrary, you have read only in this chapter, only you have read about these arbitrary laws, which are based on chance or some sort of thought instead of thinking it logically, or giving enough reasons, or having enough valid reasons behind it. So history provides us with several examples of people and communities who have struggled to end unjust laws. In your class 7 book, you read of how Rosa Parks, an African American woman, refused to give up her seat on a bus to a white man on 1st December 1955. She was protesting the law on segregation that divided up all public spaces, including the streets, between the whites and the African Americans. Her refusal was a key event that marked the start of the civil rights movement, which led to the Civil Rights Act in 1964, which prohibited discrimination on the basis of race, religion, or national origin in the USA. So see, this act of this lady Rosa Parks, how it was efficient, or how it was just having the force in it, that it brought this civil, or it started the civil rights movement. And because of the civil rights movement, the Civil Rights Act in 1964 was passed, and which prohibited this discrimination on the basis of race, religion, or national origin in the USA. If on that particular day, that means is 1st December 1955, Rosa Parks, she had not protested against this sort of segregation or against this sort of discrimination, then this Civil Rights Act, I don't think it would have come or come in effect within 1964 in USA. This act only was helpful to bring such a nice change in the society of USA. So do you remember the photo essay on the women's movement in the class 7 book? The photos there showed the different ways in which citizens can protest, campaign, and show solidarity. Now, what is the meaning of this solidarity? Agreement between and support for the members of group. So it is some sort of agreement, or it is some sort of support. for a group, for a particular group. The following pictures point to other ways in which people protest unjust laws. We need to remember that our role as citizens does not end with electing our representatives. This is not the only function that we need to play regarding this democratic society of our country. This is not the only way in which we should participate. Rather, as we have studied, we must raise our voice, because our voice is very crucial in just asking for a new law, and for the, if any modification is required in the already passed law. For that reason also our voice is quite crucial. And as we have studied in the page before, that a citizen's voice is quite crucial, starting from this requirement of a law till its implementation. That means if we repeat this line, where the line is, yes, sorry, just give me 1 minute, where I have missed the line. This line is very important. You must, yes, there's 1, 2, 3. The third line of the first para, page number 49. From establishing the need for a new law to its being passed at every stage of the process, the voice of citizen is a crucial element. Kindly underline this line or this sentence. It is very important. This is our function. This is our actual role, that we must not only ask for a new law, but the whole process, or throughout the whole process, we must participate actively. We must participate actively. We have all come to know that the making of law is not a very simple matter, and it will just take place within 1 or 2 days. It is a long and continuous process. And from this establishing the need for a new law to its being passed, until it is passed in the parliament, that means in both the houses, and until it is getting the consent from the president. And at every stage of the process, the voice of the citizen is a very crucial matter. So we need to remember that our role as citizens does not end with electing our representatives. Rather, it is then that we begin to use newspapers and the media to carefully chart the work that is being done by our MPs and criticize their actions when we feel it is required. So our MPs, if they are doing some sort of wrong work, or if they are engaged in some sort of wrong deeds, we must protest against their wrong deeds through this media, through this newspaper, so that they also become quite alert, and the government also becomes quite alert that the citizens, they are against this sort of activities of those certain MPs or MLAs, whatever. So, thus, what we should beat in mind is that it is the extent, involvement and enthusiasm of the people that helps Parliament perform its representative functions properly. So, children, underline this line. I am repeating once more. Thus, what we should bear in our mind, we should always keep it in our mind that it is the extent, involvement and enthusiasm of the people that helps Parliament perform its representative functions properly. So, the Parliament requires the help, requires the support of the citizens, through which the Parliament will be able to, the Parliament will come to know about the performance of the representatives. And here we, the citizens, we must get ourselves involved with full enthusiasm, with full enthusiasm. We must get involved in all this sort of activities. Then only our country can follow the actual rules and laws of a democratic society or a democratic government. So children, with this we have completed this chapter, and these question answers we will discuss in our next class, or through one video we will discuss this question answers, and if required I will give you some insight questions from this chapter if I feel that the exercise question answers are not in that manner will be helpful for us, and if some insight questions are given from this chapter it will be quite helpful for you. So in our next video either we will do this one or we will start the next chapter, that is unit 3, judiciary, another very important organ of the government. So if you are having any query or doubt, you can just ask me right now.